EA Sports. It's in the game.
What's up, everybody? Slick Rick, FnAwesomeGaming, and today we're going to be covering NCAA 13, and there's a few things I want to get into, so jumping right into it. As you can see, the cover, we have Robert Griffin III from Baylor, and we have Barry Sanders. So they're going to be sharing the cover this year, and it's all based around the fact they were both Heisman winners. And the cover, it looks okay. I'm not that big on it, but we're not getting on that right now. So first thing on the list is presentation. All right, so ESPN is back to doing NCAA like they have been, and there's a few new things that kind of make the presentation better from what I've read and what I've seen. So first is studio updates during the game, and this year they have Reese Davis. So in the middle of your game, you guys will take a break and they'll update you onto a score that's happening around the country. So that's pretty cool. Now the next thing on presentation is score alert is related to your team and conference. So if you have a team who's in the SEC and you're playing, the majority of your teams that show up on the bottom ticker are going to be from the SEC. So it's more about teams that you actually want to see. Like, you care more about, if you're LSU, you're playing with the LSU Tigers, you're going to care more about Florida, Alabama, teams like that in the SEC than Western Kentucky or somebody. So that's pretty cool. That makes sense. And another thing is priority scores and updates. So like I was saying with the team and conference thing, but also that has to do with like upsets. So say a small school is about to beat a big school, that'll show up, kind of like how it does on the real ESPN. So next is the rule changes. So if you haven't heard, the NCAA this year is mirroring what the NFL did, and they're moving their kickoff up 5 yards. But that's not where the rule changes end. Another thing they're doing is now for touchbacks, all touchbacks will now start out on the 25-yard line instead of 20. So that could be pretty big. Next, going on to what people actually care about, the gameplay. Now this year they installed triple threat athletes. So from the video it shows one person being a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a running back. I'm not sure if you can play both sides of the ball. More news will probably be coming out on that. The next is there are 20 new quarterback dropbacks and 25 pass trajectory zones. And they only had one last year, so that's definitely a big improvement. Now, this year they will also have new QB sack avoidance moves, which always should have been in the game from the first place. New pass animations. It's all in the trailer, so if you haven't seen the trailer, we'll put the link in the description. Check it out. Okay, next is the icons will light up depending on how ready your wide receiver is to make the play. Kind of what Madden's doing, if you've seen that. It's kind of on the same level. There are 430 new pass animations. Sounds like a lot. I'm not sure how it will affect gameplay, but sounds like a lot of new stuff there. Defensive players will have to see the ball to make a play, so that means there's going to be no more like blind swatting, or in theory there's not going to be any more blind swatting. We'll definitely see how that will happen during the game. Next is what I think is one of the bigger things. It has to do with recruiting. Okay, so it's called dynamic pitch grades, and it's new this year, enabling you to improve certain playing style marks through your actions on the field and the stats you put up. Okay, for example, the author of this article, he said maybe he was playing with Stanford and he's trying to recruit a scrambling quarterback, but he is like kind of weary of coming because the system they currently have, it favors more of a pocket passer and more of a pro style quarterback. So he can start making his quarterback roll out and run a little bit more, or he can even have like one of his faster backups come in and kind of run a little bit, and it'll kind of bump up his overall rating in the scrambling quarterback area. So it'll show the recruit that that he's willing to adjust his system to fit his needs. So making it more realistic. If you know that you're not going to get playing time in a certain type of offense or a certain type of defense, you really wouldn't go there. So it's all based around how your team is and your team needs. So that's pretty cool. Now, the last thing on the list is something called breakthrough interest. All right, so basically, in past NCAA football games, there was a kind of little meter that told you how interested the recruit is or wasn't in your school. So this year they have a more accurate way of telling, and they have a top. It looks like a top 10, maybe a top 5, and it shows what teams you're competing against and how close you are to getting this recruit. And that's definitely an improvement for me, because I'm such a bad recruiter. Even though I have like a SEC team, still it's kind of hard to recruit. So it could just be because I suck. Maybe that could be the problem. But this has been Slick Rick, FnAwesomeGaming, and I'll catch you guys next time.